it comes down to who initiated that contract. Was it the agent, and Uncle Dennis is just trying to collect? Was it the Clippers, and they're just huge idiots? Or was it Uncle Dennis acting on his own, freelancing? I would bet on option 3.
The ultimate leverage in the NBA historically has been a superstar threatening to leave a place in which he can extract and exchange all sorts of stuff. Now, typically, when we say that, it's within the legal bounds of the CBA, right? The Kawhi Leonard story since 2019 has been cap circumvention. That's the allegation.
No. There was a story. The story is not the same as the facts.
All right, let's stop right there because I didn't think this story would have the legs that it certainly does have. So let me address it as a matter of fact. This story is based off of tremendous research from Pablo Torre and the facts that he were able to find. The problem is that this story doesn't have a smoking gun that connects it to Steve Ballmer. Now, I know a lot of you guys say, oh, well, he's been through this situation before in 2015. Well, that's jaywalking compared to running across the freeway in this respect. But I'm going to let them continue with this summation, and we're going to really dive into this and make some sense of it.
No, but the story of Kawhi Leonard and this investigation by the NBA, as alleged by your colleagues in the NBA who dealt with him personally, was that this guy is coming to us asking for shares of ownership and, more even pressingly, these side endorsement deals, these sweeteners that are off the books.
No, I get what he asked for. There's a lot, and I'm telling you, Pablo, that happens all the time. It's just like this guy asked for ownership, and that's what made it ridiculous.
What I would return to, that was an NBA fan and a journalist, is the actual timeline of Steve Ballmer owning the Clippers, right? So he wanted the cornerstone, the franchise superstar of a caliber that was going to do the thing that no one had done for the Clippers, which was compete actually with the Lakers. He just won the title, and he was healthy, and Steve Ballmer had the opportunity to do the rarest of things, right? Get a free agent franchise player in his prime, which does not happen.
And how did he do that? And what did he give up to do that?
He gave up everything. He did whatever Kawhi Leonard's camp was saying he had to do. That was the story of that offseason, you recall, right? He wanted Paul George.
So if what you're saying is that wasn't enough, and he'd go to any length to do anything but only for Kawhi, I'm not going down that road.
Oh, no. I'm saying that he clearly knew the importance, because he's an NBA fan, of how you need a true number one superstar to contend.
Yeah, for sure.
And he got the guy, and he gave him, in reality, whatever was requested by the camp, Paul George, draft picks, all that stuff, he made it happen, right?
If the catalyst is Uncle Dennis, I couldn't think of anything dumber. I just don't think it was a binary set of circumstances like that. I just don't see it. Like I said before, I think it's far more likely that Uncle Dennis was the catalyst with the crooks. And I just don't think you can just presume everything with aspiration, the crooked company is the equivalent of a legit company. Both of us could be wrong. Neither of us. One of us could be right. We'll find out over time.
All right. Let's get up out of there. And let's break this down in summation, because based off of these allegations and all the tremendous research from Pablo Torre, it's on Pablo Torre and this research, it's its job. It's imperative that it proves that Steve Ballmer and the Clippers did something wrong. And I think it falls short of this. Actually, I think it falls drastically short of that. It is not the job of Steve Ballmer in this moment. It's not the job of Kawhi Leonard in this moment. It's not the job of Uncle Dennis in this moment. It's not the job of the Clippers organization in this moment to prove that it didn't do something. Not my job to not prove it, right? You ever had to prove a negative? Pretty much impossible. Pretty difficult, right? To prove a negative. So in this situation, I love the fact that Mark Cuban said, look, if we're going to look at the catalyst as it being Uncle Dennis and him independently working with aspiration, then I could understand that conversation. But if you're trying to tell me that Steve Ballmer hinged his bets and hedged his bets on Uncle Dennis being the contact person of Kawhi Leonard and his LLC in order for this whole under-the-table job to happen on the Clippers' watch, you got to be out of your mind. Okay, why would Steve Ballmer want to hinge it on Uncle Dennis? Because Uncle Dennis is the one asking? No, Uncle Dennis is asking because it's plausible deniability for Kawhi Leonard, one, and two, Uncle Dennis, go out there and get all you can from me in my NIL. You got that. Marketing is completely different than the salary cap in terms of contract negotiations and circumvention. People know that. You understand? You can have a team deal with Nike. You can have a player individual deal with Nike. You can have a league deal with Nike. And you could be that same player who has that deal. I've been there before as well, and I will tell you a story of how I got scammed, and it's very similar to this. Obviously, different scale and different scope. So Aspiration were the scammers, right? And Aspiration scammed Steve Ballmer. This is fact, right? There were scammers We already know they're admitting it, proving that they're guilty. They didn't even have to go through it. They are admitting their guilt, probably for reduced sentence, etc. Uncle Dennis, this is where conjecture comes in. This is my spidey sense. Uncle Dennis piggybacked Steve Ballmer, backdoored Steve Ballmer, independently went up to Aspiration and struck a deal with Aspiration because I got Kawhi Leonard. Yeah, Steve Ballmer owns the team, but I got Kawhi Leonard's ear. And I've been in too many situations on both sides where someone's telling me, oh, to get to this artist, you got to go through me, and that's my boy. Or I am the artist, and I'm like, well, if you want me, you got to go talk to him because he can say things I can't say, whatever that may be. Still, none of this is the smoking gun to Steve Ballmer. Here we go. So Ballmer is stuck right now. And I can tell you if my theory is, which is Uncle Dennis independently went up to Aspiration, probably just looking at what Steve Ballmer's portfolio is or knowing what the Clippers are into. This is simple. I have boys that did this in San Diego all the way through. All you got to know is what the deals the Chargers have, what deals do I have, and let's close that gap. Oh, they working with Petco. Well, let me work with Petco. Well, you got to go through the Chargers. You go through the Chargers, you're already going to go through the deal they have existed. Don't you want your own deal, Marcellus? Yeah, so go over to Petco and find out what's up. I sign some autographs. I go in there and pet them damn dogs, even though I'm a cat lover. Point being, this doesn't stick to Steve Ballmer. I still haven't heard it, and I listened to the fascinating interview between Mark Cuban and Pablo Torre over an hour long and the 80 minutes of his investigative work. Not calling any of that into question. What I'm calling into question is the people, the 7 sources especially, the ones who got scammed or scammers themselves. Which one is it? So there's only one convenient solution to all of this. The cleanest answer to line up everybody and all this information based on who they are and their reputations, because I hate when allegations come and all of a sudden you hit a 180 and you act like you don't know the person. I hate when that happens because there are false allegations. There are liars out there. There are things that just don't make sense. Right? And you can't make sense out of nonsense. And right now, all of this is nonsense if you're looking at it from Steve Ballmer's perspective. I have a deal. I invest in a company. This company is going to give us a marketing deal, $300 million. I gave him $50 million. Now, do you think I am going to risk all of this? These $190-some billion I got and this team I got worth $5-6 billion. You think I'm risking all of this? Not because of Kawhi, because I can see how that's tantalizing. Ooh, Kawhi Leonard, 2019, 2000. You want Kawhi Leonard. You want to sign him in that deal 2021. For Uncle Dennis, I'm going to let Kawhi and I go into something and Uncle Dennis, you the point person. Y'all got to be tripping. Y'all got to be crazy. Y'all ain't boo-boo the fool. I hope you're not. So, okay, let's get into this. This original deal with Aspiration was already investigated by the NBA because that's the only way you get an approval deal for that size and for that different line item as a marketing deal. Do y'all understand that? So the NBA is going to investigate this now, as they said they are, but the police are policing themselves, or their investigation fell short last time, or they're going to find something new. What have they found new about Steve Ballmer? Nothing. I have not heard a thing. Well, he didn't know before. Well, then that's even more reason to exonerate him. Oh, well, now he should know. Should know from a scammer? You ever been scammed? You don't know until you know. You don't know. Like, this don't feel weird, but that ain't knowing. That's feeling something. Come on, y'all. So let's get into this one more time. Steve Ballmer, and this is not me being a Clipper fan. This is me, as I always do, read the Spideys, and the Spidey sense is saying, this doesn't add up. Steve Ballmer, you're not going to find anything going on because I don't think there's anything there. Kawhi Leonard, come on, y'all. Y'all know how Kawhi gets down. He ain't dealing with all this. Right? My name's on there is KL2 Aspire LLC. And I wonder who set that up. I think it would be Uncle Dennis. Who is the point person, point of contact? Uncle Dennis. Okay. So now, who was Uncle Dennis? The guy who we already investigated and alleged of wanting sweeteners, extra incentives for every deal. Doesn't that sound like the guy who would maybe go up to Aspiration after they are in works or signed a deal with Steve Ballmer 1 month after it, like, you know, if you really want Kawhi, because you got this big old deal with them. Imagine you have a huge deal with the Chicago Bulls in the 90s, and you ain't got Michael Jordan's ear. You got the team going to Jordan. They're like, yeah, we'll get Jordan when we can. And then somebody come up to you, Ahmad Rashad walk up to you, like, you know Jordan, my dog. Like, my dog. Like, what's up? Oh, you can really come out and you can really do something? Yeah. But he ain't gonna do nothing. But you can use his name for leverage and get other investors, etc. I got you, etc. These employees, I hate to disparage people, but since they want to disparage Steve Ballmer, let's just keep it fair game. They either are the same people that got scammed, or let's be real, they're part of the scammers and trying to clear their name, trying to get some space between them and the scammers. So the only people going on record are either people who got scammed because they really believed in the company, they got scammed, or they're the scammers. Like, ooh, better not let them know where my bodies are buried. So let's talk about over there what they did. And here's the problem with it. Regardless of who they are, they're hurt, right? And hurt people hurt people. So they're going after somebody else. I wonder if it's because of the intention and motivation of they're hurt themselves. They got scammed. Or worse, they're scammers trying to hide something. So last part about it is the story that happened to me. Small story, but it really can extract into this situation perfectly, neatly. I remember getting this opportunity. I think it was with like the Sports and Entertainment Commission, right? So basically they wanted to use my name and throw events, whether it was charity, community, but also for profit or parties, all these kind of things. Southern California, right? It was all up and down California, Southern California. So like San Diego stuff. It was conversations, right? And I remember having these conversations, and I remember all of a sudden they kind of went left. And I remember why they went left. When this story, this is probably traumatic from back then, but now I forgot about it until this story popped up. It was because my boy, and he know who he is. I ain't gonna say your name because I don't know what you got going on. But he piggybacked and backdoored to try to get a sweeter deal out of it without me knowing. But then when it blew up, I just was like, whatever. I got so many deals coming my way at that time. I'm like, whatever. But I was like, damn, I wanted that deal, but never knew why. I knew maybe I was asking for too much. Maybe they want a different way. I wasn't the biggest athlete in the world, right? I'm just from Southern California and had a little bit of a name. And then I found out, I don't know how long later, but the deal was done already. We ain't getting it. That, oh, yeah, your guy kind of came in there real hot, asking for more than was on the paper, asking for more than that. This dude wanted all kind of tickets to games. He wanted hotel rooms. Like all this kind of like ghetto stuff that I was like, I don't care about all of that. Give me the money. I could go buy all these tickets. I could go buy the hotel suites. But he wanted that because he wasn't going to get it exactly for me. This is not for Uncle Dennis necessarily, but it's for this. There's always somebody who's connected to you in the posse, in the entourage, or just in the family, your friends and family, that always is looking like, we can squeeze a little more lemon and make some lemonade out of this. And we hear it all the time. I see it at the high school level right now with this NIL. I see cousins coming out, say, yeah, hey, my cousin go to this school. You want him to go to this school? Don't you know so-and-so over there? I'm like, I've been recruited too many times to know how it can go, right? Buddy passes. For all y'all who acting like, what am I talking about? Y'all remember buddy passes? I remember when Southwest Airlines came out with the buddy pass. We were like, we've been heard of that. We should have coined that. Because in high school, when you were the man and your boy was all right, you could get him recruited to the same school and get him a scholarship off the buddy pass. Y'all remember that? How that happened? Hey, big dog. You either could say it like, look, I love going to Columbia, but you know, it'd be great if my boy come because it makes me more comfortable if he's there, blah, blah, blah. Or you didn't have to step in it. Whoever is working with you through negotiations, you be like this, okay, sounds good, sounds great. You leave the room, they come in. Yeah, you know what's interesting? This is back then. Yeah, it'd be really nice if, Marcellus and Marcus went to school together because I know Marcellus, look, he has so many options. Marcus, not so much, but Marcus, late bloomer. I think he's really going to blossom. But right now, him and Marcellus, they're attached at the hip. So the recruiter says, say no more, say less. Now, it depends on how good you are. You can really start talking. Oh, yeah, it'd be really nice if they both flew first class. Stayed in the same dorm. I heard you got a senior dorm for freshmen. Oh, you don't? Well, I heard that freshmen could stay in there with an exemption, right? Oh, man, and while he's gone, it's going to be tough around the house. Oh, man, we're going to be short of hands. It would be nice to have a little extra support. Y'all don't know. See, this is why I loved what they were talking about. But I think that it took Mark Cuban to say it because, one, he got all of that money, all of these companies, and he's also been burned before. So he was just like, dog, ain't nobody doing all that. But Pablo was coming at it like, this is why you would do it. But that's the same. They're looking at the same thing from a completely different vantage point. One is looking at it from the top down like, nah, dog, you got your warning sign, you got your slap on the wrist before. Ain't nobody doing all that. And then the other one's like, oh, my God, I know why you did that. It's kind of like what money is, and I get out of here with this. You know how they always talk about money? And we think it's, when you ain't got money, you always think of money like it's going to be the cure. It's going to solve your ills. You hear more money, more problems, but you're like, nah, I give me some money, it's on. It's wrap. It's over. And then you come to realize, there's a lot more to it than just that, right? Well, look at Mark Cuban up here. Look at Steve Ballmer up here. Look at Pablo Torre down here. All respect. Look at me, just right there. Been on both sides of this. Not even close to Cuban and Ballmer, but also I understand where Pablo coming from, and I understand what they talking about up there. So that's what it is, man. Simple. I don't think I'm wrong, and if I am wrong, I'm wrong. I'm gonna do a video. I'm wrong, but I just don't see it. Unless you want to tell me that Uncle Dennis struck an independent deal, which I think he really did. My verdict is Uncle Dennis did this on his own doing. The only reason he's not out yet, or they won't out him yet, is because you don't want to lose Kawhi in hanging his uncle out to dry. Simple as that. Beat it up in the comments. Let me know what you think. Hate me, love me, whatever. Got you thinking. Simple as that. All right? So now, you know what we do on this show, boy. We flow, boy. But before we flow, boy, you know what we got to do. We got to check in on your blood flow, boy. So let's go right here to Venia. Have you used the product yet? First of all, have you ever used the QR code right there? Use it. Marcellus 10 for 10% off. Go to the website. That is Venia.com/Marcellus for that 10% off. Now you're asking yourself, damn, big dog, what is Venia? Well, I'm going to tell you, family. It's just about you having more energy and more blood flow without sugar and caffeine. Yeah, your circulation is stronger. It helps your body move oxygen and nutrients to where they need to go. Where is that? To your heart, to your brain, to your muscles. So that's what Venia does. It's made from red grape cell powder, and it helps you naturally produce more nitric oxide. Next level stuff right here. So your arteries open up, your blood flows better, you get more energy, more focus, more on the go. So you got to try Venia right here. 1 chew a day. I'm talking about the Daily Chews 2X formula. It will help you with your heart health, brain power, and steady energy all in one place. So don't fake it. Y'all got to feel it and feel your grind with Venia. I'm not lying. Use my code Marcellus10 for 10% off. Bwah, 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 bwah. That Venia is good. Oh, it tastes so good, and it works. That's why I'm geeked up. Over here, ready. So now, you know what we do on this show. Why? Y'all believe me? We blow, boy! This is gonna be so beautiful. I gotta write a rap about yeah. Let me write this rap about my man right here. This is something good. I really don't think Ballmer did anything. You know what I think? Uncle Dennis, line 1. Oh, man, I'm going to tell y'all really how I think. It's Ballmer who got billions stacked so tall. Uncle Dennis slid in, player hustler ball. Aspiration scheme, tree planting dream. Scam the richest man rocking the Clipper team. Ballmer's wallet open, Kawhi stay quiet. On talking equity, let's start a riot. 40 million vanish like smoke in the breeze. Uncle Dennis out here tax-free overseas. You can buy Microsoft yachts and planes, but can't say nothing protecting Kawhi's name. Dang. Ballmer clapping courtside, smiling like a fan. Inside he know he got backdoored by the fam. On got the bag. Ballmer bit the bait. Kawhi the star, so y'all can't call it hate. Keep it hush hush. Can't mess up the plan when your superstar's nephew backdoored the man. Damn. Ballmer in the suite like, that's money's gone. But he'd rather keep peace than make the beef long. Woo. Clippers trying to win. Keep Kawhi in the fold, so Ballmer bite his tongue. Let the scam go cold. Damn. NBA politics playing in the shade. When the price of silence bigger than what you paid. It ain't about pride. It ain't about fame. It's about keeping your star so the bar get raised. You know what it is. Come on, you know his name. Oh, man, listen to this, boy. Oh, man, the price of silence is bigger than what you paid. Come on, y'all. Y'all really think he would do all that? Y'all think he would? Nah, I don't think he would do all that. I think Uncle Dennis just went rogue and hood and goes like, hey, come over here. I got a situation. I need 48 million. Aspiration. Become a gym member with Project Transition. As a giver every month, small gifts have a big impact in creating real change. Not only will you transform lives, you'll also win and unlock once-in-a-lifetime experiences. Join me, Marcellus Wiley, in making a real impact through Project Transition, a global giving community dedicated to uplifting underserved youth with mentorship, education, and access to real opportunities. Your donation doesn't just enter you to win unforgettable prizes and exclusive experiences with myself and other gym members. It fuels our mission to empower the next generation of leaders, dreamers, and game changers. From after-school programs, life skills camps, and career development, every dollar helps unlock potential where it's needed most, and where every person makes a world of difference. Give back, win big, be the difference, be greater than your greatest excuse. Support Project Transition today. Become a gym member and help turn obstacles into opportunities.
All right, y'all, let me put you on to something that's part of my daily routine now. Vinia, not a powder, not a pill. It's the twice daily chews, and yeah, they taste good too. I used to force down beet juice before games just to get my blood flow going. Hated the taste, hated the mess. Vinia, way better benefits, way better experience. This is a real blood flow product, clinically proven to dilate your arteries and help your blood flow naturally produce nitric oxide. Vinia actually retrains your cells to unlock more of it the way your body's supposed to. Bruh, that's pie seed resveratrol at work. Consistent, efficient, powerful. Whether I'm in the studio, running around with my itty bitties, or battling on a pickleball court, I want to stay sharp and in rhythm. Vinia helps me get there. It's plant-based. No stimulants, no crash, no jitters, no banned substances, no junk. It's Informed Sports certified. Just something that actually delivers. So if you're trying to show up every day at your best, skip the beet juice. Go with Vinia. Blood flow energy that shows up for you. Link in description, vinia.com/Marcellus. Discount code Marcellus10 for a 10% discount. Wow.
It's been a decade plus that I knew that this day was going to come.
Oh, this is not hyperbole here. Because I believe it's the purpose.
Time to hydrate. Hydration's the situation, so